Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Starmech. It's another bullet heaven. This time around, you got a spaceship that can turn into a mech and vice versa. One thing is, there might be some photosensitivity issues, so if you're not, well, if you got issues with that kind of thing, maybe stay away. Anyway, so Starmech, pretty standard from what I can tell right off the bat. Left and right, shoot ships, get upgrades, and then we gotta get out of here before a black hole forms. So Buster Beam is Mecha, forward-facing high-powered beam upgrades, increased beam size and duration, boss breaker. Rotating cannon that fires dual shells, upgrades, increases firing duration. And balls of plasma in all directions, upgrades increased number of projectiles. I'm gonna go for the Buster Beam, that sounds pretty solid. So, the entire premise of this is that I have two modes, ship mode and mecha mode. Ship mode is, let's see. Ship mode is faster, but weaker, and mech is much, much stronger. Single high damage projectile, dual cannon, or missile launcher. Homing missiles that explode on impacts. Go for the homing missiles. It gives us a little bit of extra oomph. The one problem is that beam, solid as it is, doesn't exactly, well, I mean, just in general, I guess the mecha doesn't get to move much. Let's see. Beam size and duration tempting. Swarm missiles in random directions. Ooh, and dual cannon. Let's go for the rocket pod. Okay. And then scoot through. I don't know if we have to worry about this EXP disappearing at all. Okay. And boy, getting a little bit of that bonus mecha movement would actually go really far. Ooh. Okay. Death Blossom. Laser Flower of Death. Upgrades increased number of beams. Rocket Pod again, or more missile launcher. I'm gonna go for upgrading the pre-existing missile launcher that I've got on the fighter. Just because that is actually really helpful. Okay, I want to kind of line these guys up. If I can. Okay. Because here's the thing. If I just kind of alternate, you know, luring them from side to side. Oh, that hurt a little bit more than I wanted it to, but that's fine. Dual cannon, Buster Beam. I guess we'll just upgrade the Buster Beam. Because, I mean, we've already got it, and maybe the bigger size of it will go a long way. Let's see. Barrier Shield, Fighter Blaster, Spread of Laser Bolts. Go with this. I see. Ah, damn it. Honestly, upgrading the fighter is not as bad as I would have expected. I mean, I never expected it to be terrible, but still. Okay, we get some health back. It's very arcadey. Like, this is the kind of thing that I would have expected to see in an arcade in the, like, 80s or 90s. And honestly, I think that actually works. No, I'm gonna keep pushing missile launcher. I don't know if there's an upper limit on that, but being able to just, jam out endless missiles actually seems like not a bad plan. Okay, snag as much of that as we can. I don't know how dangerous these, like, sea mine looking things are, but my assumption is they're not something to be trifled with. Okay, we don't want to go too far. There we go. Okay, what else do we have? Blaster, level 2. Ooh, triple shot now. I'll take it. And good for ripping through the basic mooks. I guess would be the easy way of putting it. Yeah, I don't know what the size is on that beam, or the range is on that beam. Seems pretty solid to me, though. Whoop. Stay away from all of this. Yeah, I might want to snag Death Blossom or something. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna snag Death Blossom really briefly. Okay, yeah, Death Blossom is super solid. Seems like it actually just fires kind of wherever it wants. Ooh, boy. Ow. Ooh. Okay, that was a lot of damage. So the enemies do contact damage to you. It's not like a one-off hit, but they will just burn you down really fast if you'll let them. Let's see. Let's go for another level of Death Blossom here. Unfortunately, it takes... Well, I'm not even sure how the... Ooh. These seem kind of fancy. I'm not sure what triggers the green laser to come back. Ooh. This is rough. I think it's better to actually just go out the way I came. Okay. Just... Yeah, maybe it actually doesn't come back and I have to hot swap between just to keep me going. Frankly, I think that's fine. Ooh. Still don't quite know what the purple is. Oh, it's fuel. Like, very small amounts of fuel. Okay, rocket pod again? Yes. There we go. Yeah, this is working. It's definitely, it's definitely testing me. It's a lot of enemies, but I do really appreciate that you can kind of specialize both ships for different things. Holy smokes. Okay. Hi. I think I found the boss. I don't know how much HP it's got left. But my assumption is... it's a mean cuss. Okay, I'm just gonna level it up a little bit. We've taken some damage, but not too much. And I'm just gonna kind of keep hitting and running. Because I can't stand too close to him. It's like if... the boss is like if Pac-Man decided to eat... like, way too much Thai food. I'm like, not the mild kind. Well, on the plus side, there's a whole bunch of stuff waiting for us every time we kind of go back and forth here. Alright. Keep scooting through. Okay. How's our health doing? Health is doing fine. I'm gonna leave that heart behind. Oop. Took a smidge for it, but it's fine. Another level of Buster Beam? Absolutely. Okay, that hurt a lot. That's okay. We can get a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, so I've got to give it a little bit of time before it'll charge the laser again. Damn, I wish the boss actually had a health bar. How are you not dead yet? Do you know how much I've been shooting you? More Buster Beam. Okay, what the hell are these things? I have no idea, but they're weird. They're weird. Okay, scoot through, snag everything. Toast. And back. He is the most durable boy. I'm just gonna keep investing in Buster Beam, I guess, because I have no other choice. Okay, he's dead, finally. Ding dang, the dude is dead. Okay, let's try not... I want to get back to this. Okay, we might have gotten it. I'm not entirely sure. Let's grab Missile Launcher. Was it just a free upgrade? I guess it must have been. And unfortunately, that beam seems to only have the range of the screen, at which point it drops off. Which is kind of okay. Let's see, another level of blaster? Absolutely. Because, you know, I've got quad shot going on. There we go. We want to just snag as much as we humanly can. Whoops. Taking some hits. More blaster, more blaster. I don't think there are any weapons that specifically give me... let's see. Piercing on the main ship. Or at least in ship mode. I could be wrong on that one, but I haven't seen anything that fits the bill. Okay. Don't take too much. Or on missile launcher. Or on rocket pod. I'm actually really curious what would happen if I just built really hard for Mecha and Mecha only. You know, could I pull it off? The answer is actually, like, almost. Also, you don't have to pull back. Or, you don't have to switch back and forth to actually get it to trigger. Rocket pod, Death Blossom. I do wish I had some more passives that weren't just upgrades to my weapons. My weapons are cool, like I'll give it that, but it doesn't have that level of like, you know, I'm going to build for projectiles or beams kind of day. But it might also be one of those that we just need to get some meta upgrades before we really get there. I'm not entirely sure. It's also one of those that, like most Bullet Heavens, this one's like $3. So even if it doesn't have everything that I could possibly want, it's really difficult for me to immediately just be like, but it could be so much better. It's like, well, you know what, 3-4 runs and I've gotten my money's worth out of this game? Like, that's kind of the absurd part about this genre, is that the value prospect of it is just nonsense. Let's see. I'm gonna keep grabbing Rocket Pod. Oh. Found a boss. I don't know how much damage it does. But I found a boss. Okay, let's scoot here. And just keep flying for those gaps. I'll take a smidge of damage for it. But we get genuinely plenty of health. Okay. Keep running the bees. Oh, there's a decent amount of stuff over here. Since when, I have no idea. A magnet upgrade would actually go really far on this as well. You know, just, hey, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Either that or this game actually loops on itself, which it very well could. It certainly kind of feels like it's looping on the same space. Well, considering the boss has now appeared on one side that I had not been on, I think this is absolutely the case. Well, you know, actually I'm pretty fine with a infinite looping arena. It makes it easier to collect all the gibs. And is a fine system. Still think I'd prefer a... let's see. I think I'd still prefer a magnet upgrade as well. Just to, you know, help me grab everything, but it's there. Okay, scoot. Music is also giving me a little bit of a little bit of stress. And it just kind of feels like it's building to something, but never is. Okay. Let's scoot through, grab our fuel. It ain't much. I got 10 minutes. I've been going, I don't know. I don't know how long these runs go for. Okay, keep avoiding. Grab the... I've got to assume it's fuel. Okay, just delete the lot of them. Kind of scoot through, grab. See what I've got. Let's see. I don't really need the health. I mostly need to do damage to that boss. Oop. Okay. Missile launcher, rocket pod, rocket pod. I'll take a small amount of damage here. It's not a big deal. There we go. I want to give that rocket launcher more of a boost if I can. Because boy, imagine if every few seconds I just fired rockets in a 360-degree circle around me. That would be some choice shit right there. Okay, ow. Definitely need to find a heart. So how hearts seem to heal what, 25? Something like that. Not entirely sure. Yeesh. I'm very glad that the Mega Beam... Ooh, did we kill the boss? We might have. Not... Yeah, there it is. So maybe I've got more range than I thought I did. And yeah, apparently that up arrow only gave me just a shit ton of fuel, which, like... Yeah, I'll take that. That's pretty good. Not quite as good as, I don't know, some other things, maybe? Let's see, Death Blossom. Because we want a bunch of beams. I don't want to say that, like, ideally I'd like to stay in mech mode forever, but I kind of do. Yeah, the only immediate problem is they're very vulnerable from behind. I wonder if these are the only weapons available if I hit kind of a weapons cap. Could be either. Ooh, ooh. Ouch, ow, my bones. Get rid of these space mines. Ow. Unfortunately, going from ultra slow mech to not ultra slow, or yeah, not ultra slow ship, it throws me the heck off. Okay, so what are we thinking? 2 more bosses? It's got to be 2 more bosses. Either that or the fuel supplies have got to really crank up. I might also want to put some more effort into beam. There we go. Just for the extra oomph. There we go. Yeah, the problem is these guys are just a little faster than me. So while I'm shooting the beam in one direction, I'm getting shot from behind. Yeah, I wonder if I'm just limited to 5 weapons. That actually very much could be it. Cripes. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna survive this one. Oh, there was some health there. But ain't gonna make it. Yeah, no, there I go. I got 154 though. Let's go back to the main menu and see what upgrades we can get. So, for starters, we can upgrade Mecha Speed Armor XP. 5% XP gain. I'm thinking maybe we just invest a lot into Mecha Speed. There we go. Now it's 25% faster. I might be able to do something about that. We also have Tango and Delta. Let's go Delta, basic, see how this goes. Because yeah, now we're going to be what, 35% faster as mech? Oh my god, look at that weapon. Okay, dual cannon. Rotating cannon fires shells. We also have the barrier shield and the pulse wave cannon. Series of fast moving waves. Upgrades increased number of pulses. Well, we've already got the dual wave cannon. Yeah, so it looks like you can only have 5 weapons. I think I'm gonna skip the beam. Single high damage projectile. I'm gonna try the pulse wave cannon. Like, I'm certainly faster than I was. It's just, is it fast enough to justify being in mech mode 100% with no weapons on the ship? Probably, yeah. Balls of plasma in all directions. Yeah, let's just try it. Well, on the plus side, we certainly have some more really consistent damage in a direction. I'm curious about the plasma balls. They seem kind of okay. Alright. Come at me, goons. I have many a firepower meant for you. Let's grab this. Interesting, it's giving me heart upgrades much earlier. So, increases number of projectiles. Yeah, and the directions that they shoot. Actually, having the plasma ball shooting behind me might actually be kind of big. And they do piercing damage. So we might actually want to get as many points into that as possible. I wonder if you can actually have it go, like, in 8 different directions. I'm assuming as such. Let's see. Barrier shield, rotating shield, radius and number of shields. It's okay. Actually, it's probably quite fine. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so it's now is firing in kind of a triangular pattern. Probably another phrase for that directionality. But yeah, it's also got piercing, which I am fairly big on. There we go. Just kind of get rid of these guys. I don't know if those waves are piercing. I'm gonna hope that they are. But yeah, the main thing is we don't have to worry about a really long charge up period on that laser. Huh. Yeah, we're up to like a 5-star pattern. That's interesting and actually really good. Because yeah, one of the big issues with the mech, my last run was it was very easy to surround. I might still grab the Death Blossom just for some extra oomph. I'll definitely say, I wish the bosses at least dropped interesting passives or something. Okay, so the waves do not pierce. You know, just something to make the mecha more interesting. Though I don't know what it would be. I mean, even basic stuff like swaps it so the mech uses fighter weapons and the fighter uses mech weapons, but the damage is scaled differently. And then obviously adding like rerolls and some other things would actually be kind of nice if you're not getting what you want. Though, like, once you've locked in your weapons in this game, it's pretty cut and dry what you're getting past that point. Frankly, I would actually say the biggest thing that could almost make this game really cool would be get rid of the meta progression, sort of. You know, I guess we're gonna go rocket pod again. I like the rocket pod enough. But I would say maybe finding mech parts that you can customize, like, your mech between runs. Maybe? Maybe. I don't know, that one's tough. Because the meta progression currently is kind of boring. Like, it's there, and it's there to give you kind of a difficulty curve and something to grind for. But on its own, it's not a particularly interesting thing. Obviously, it could get kind of nutty depending on if there's an upper limit, or if you can just infinitely increase mecha speed, because that would be kind of cool in its own way. But just, I don't know. I don't want to say the lack of dynamism holds this game back a little bit, but this genre is pretty full of games that give you a lot of options and then let you play with that. And not having that is a little tough. Not strictly bad, but it's it's one of those that I feel like the whole swapping between the mech and the ship is really cool. And I'd almost love to see it where each one of these weapons had like a mech and a ship counterpart. And that instead of really kind of pigeonholing you into going mech only, the entire point of it is, you know, which of these do you really want? Because, you know, maybe the death laser is just like a frontal laser on the ship, but here it's kind of something that shoots in random directions or at a very specific enemy or something. Maybe? Because currently, like, my ship mode is completely useless, and I realize that's kind of a trade-off, but I think I'd feel much more connection to what I'm doing if I was like, well, okay, so, like, Death Blossom's kind of boring on the ship mode, but it's great on the mech, whereas the blaster is just universally good. And then, you know, you kill the boss and, you know, maybe this boss gives you, well, frankly, if you still have a weapon slot, maybe it gives you a flamethrower. Or, if your weapon slots are full, maybe it gives you, like, a flame aspect. Where you get, like, a short-range aura around your character. Let's see. Increases firing duration. I wonder if you can get it so that's actually... if your duration is as long as the cooldown. Probably not. You'd probably have to put a lot of upgrades into it to really make that happen. That's a bad time to have an itchy shoulder. On the flip side, I haven't taken any damage yet, so I don't think it matters too much. Yeah, the tragedy of a full genre like this is very quickly adequate or even good quickly gets buried by great. And it's a bit of a worry with, like, a number of these. Then again, you know, small budget means developers don't lose out on much. Got a message earlier today from a completely different developer for a completely different genre being like, you know, please try my game, nobody's buying it. I'm like, sorry. I can't. It's just not my kind of game. Well, we killed it a lot faster that time around, or at least it felt like it was a lot faster. There we go. I can almost feasibly stay in mecha mode the entire time. The biggest issue is just pickup radius is the big one. Okay, do we just keep pushing plasma projector? Yes. Oh. Did that actually increase its fire rate? No, I don't think it did. I think it's just becoming denser. But that works really well for me. Because the projectiles do plenty of damage and do strike through, and considering how freaking dense everything is, it seems like a good idea. But one of those where I hate to say it, but the games industry is, like, incredibly full. There are so many games coming out all the time. And it's really nice to have little genres like this that are kind of a breath of fresh air. And also, I'm gonna say kind of non-committal. But like, with roguelike deck builders, like, it's super clear that a lot of roguelike deck builder developers put a lot of thought into what they were doing. The only immediate problem is they didn't step out from underneath Slay the Spire's shadow, ever. And, you know, what they took is kind of the template for how roguelike deck builders are supposed to be. A lot of people took as kind of old and dusty after about a year. I think that's valid, actually, that, you know, the genre, the core mechanics of Slay the Spire are so refined in Slay the Spire that anybody else doing the exact same thing really has to like work at it to stand out. And so I think that kind of will remain true of the Bullet Heaven genre, if only because, you know, the predecessors aren't necessarily worse than the successors. And so it's always going to be difficult for any successors to rise to prominence. I'm going to keep doing this until I'm firing literal rings out of me. There doesn't seem to be a limitation. And it is giving me these upgrades like nigh constantly, so why not? I should probably invest a little bit more into the dual cannon, just because it is by and far one of my better weapons. But these purple shots just chew through folks. And the denser I make it, the more likely two of them are going to be hitting an enemy as opposed to just one. I don't know if it scales their damage too. It just says number, so I'm assuming no. And yeah, if I were to keep playing this, I'd definitely switch the music around. Okay, so he's faster than me. My logic is, we just fly forward. I'm just gonna let my back shot hit him while I clear out everybody in front of us. And whenever there's a good gap, I use it to make some space. There we go. Gotta worry about it a smidge. But, like, not too much. I got the process down. Kinda. Hopefully we'll find some more HP at some point. Rocket pod or dual cannon? Absolutely dual cannon. It started firing for, like, a hot second there. And then stopped. Okay. Pelt him a little bit. I just don't want to get hit by those. Yep. I don't want to get hit by those little toxic blobs. Oops. I'll just go around him. There we go. Kind of. You will not catch me. I am too powerful. I just will not kill you in short order. And I find that slightly obnoxious. I will admit I wish the bosses had less HP but were more interesting to fight. As it stands, they're not much more than just, kind of an impediment. Like, not too bad, but it's an issue. There we go. And this reminds me of the intergalactic, or the Interstellar Galaxy, I think it was called. That was a game where you'd switch between, like, a pretty solid, like, dogfighter spaceship, and then, like, a much more, like, punchy mecha. I thought that was actually super solid. I also remember it being, like, freakishly hard, which is one of the other issues with it. I don't remember getting very far because it kept dying. I'm just gonna keep investing in that plasma projector. Because, like, it's effective. There we go. Let's just grab whatever. It certainly clears the screen, which is kind of my goal. You know, get it to be dense enough that everything has to get hit by multiple plasma projectiles on its way to me, and I might be able to just have the whole screen to myself. There we go. Well, I mean, it seems to be working. There are very few enemies spawning that are actually, you know, remaining alive. Most of them die well before they get to me. Oh, if only I was a little faster, then I could outpace the bosses, and then we could just kind of chill with this setup. So we do know for a fact that there are other weapon types, though, that I haven't found. So the game isn't, like, that static. It definitely feels a little limited, but also this game came out, like, 2 days ago, so it's a little hard to be like, Arr. You know, I think the only immediate problem, once again, is the fact that this genre is quickly becoming incredibly full. I got a list of 30 of them. I don't think I've ever seen a genre fill out this fast. Like, I thought roguelike deck builders got dogpiled quick, but this is one of those that I think a lot of developers can probably make their own variant in, like, a couple of days? Maybe? If I knew what I was doing, I bet I could game jam one of these, if I wanted to. The issue is making it really good. And I think that's a lot harder than I think a lot of people give credit for. But it's also one of those that, once again, genre's incredibly cheap. So, even if it's not like... Even if these games aren't perfect, there's still going to be just enough for somebody to try out. And feel like, yeah, this is worth it to me. And I think that's exactly where I stand on this one, where it's like, even just the switching between mecha and non-mecha modes is kind of fresh. I just want to see more of it. I guess it'd be the easiest way to put it. Okay, Mr. Skull. It also does not help that the bosses seemingly have virtually identical combat patterns, which is chase you and then stank. Just little stank clouds that follow them around. It's just what's the flavor of the stank that they were exuding. Actually, you know what? Probably a pretty good YouTube thumbnail, all things considered. I gotta remember. About 35, 37 minutes in. I'm not actually sure if those skulls do damage to me. They might actually just be kind of light warnings for, like, don't get touched by this guy. Which, like, yeah, that's fair. Okay. I'm just gonna keep pushing on. Let's see. I don't know. There's not much to say. I'm just running in a straight line and just swapping back and forth between the mecha mode. Which, like, it's a functional strategy. I'm mostly just waiting for him to die. I did notice I got a lot more money the last round, but that might just be because there's a ton of money sitting around up and down and all around that I haven't actually gone to go retrieve. I guess it could. Anyway, more onto the plasma projector. It is by and far the strongest thing in this game. Are we actually firing 2 layers of projectiles at once? It's hard to tell just due to the refresh rate. I think, is it the refresh rate? I don't know. The way the little pips are animating. There we go. Give me my sweet cash. Or maybe you get extra cash based on whatever your score was at the end of the run. Or who knows. Doesn't matter too much to me. Damn those mines. They're getting in my way. Please die, Mr. Skull. Got 4 minutes left before the black hole spawns, and I am nowhere close to a reasonable amount of fuel. Yeah, so I don't think this is going to be a win. We'll definitely have a lot more money. I still think investing hard into mech speed would go a long way. Just being fast enough to keep pace with one of the bosses would actually do the trick. Because then I could just infinitely flee from them. Okay, oh, he dead. Finally. Alright. There we go. So I'm at 67% fuel. That's a bad sign. Unless that was that worth a little bit more? It kind of was. Damn. I am legitimately spooky against a horde. Watch them fall. Okay, let's snag some more of this. Level up again. I was hoping to keep working on the plasma shot, considering it is, you know, stupid good. They were directly on top of me, and it did not matter in the slightest. Wow, those guys are kind of quick, actually. Ooh. I might not actually be able to remain in ship mode. They close in on me a little fast. Plasma projector. Hell yeah. I might actually have to just stay in ship mode, which is probably fine. Just means it's going to be hard to get at all of the fuel that drops, though I'm not entirely sure how much fuel actually does drop here. But yeah, 2 minutes. I don't think we're making it. I think the big thing is we also need to invest much harder in damage. Okay. So he's got a roving death cloud, effectively. Which is interesting. On the plus side, because it hugs him so closely, or not that it hugs him so closely, because it's always going in one specific pattern, you kind of know exactly how to dodge him. Oh, my damage is dropping off here. Or maybe I just wasn't hitting him hard enough. I don't know. We got a minute. Gonna hold on. Do my best, but it usually takes multiple minutes to kill these bosses to begin with. So I'm not making a whole lot of bets here. Yeah. Oh, that was Death Blossom. I am a fool. Okay. Just avoid all of these for a bit. We got multiple hearts sitting around. Plasma projector. Let him stack up too much. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. Seconds. There's a little bit of a delay between me swapping and me firing. It's not great. I'm dead. Wow, I lost a lot of money. Death takes me. Yeah, no kidding. Or not money, a lot of HP. Either way, a little bit more on mecha speed I think would help the most. That and just pure raw damage. Getting both of those just up across the board seems like it would be a pretty solid choice. I don't know. Either way, it's a neat bullet heaven. It's got a ways to go, in my opinion. Mostly boiling down to the fact that it needs, I think, a little bit more customization. I think the easiest way to do it would be offering passives every once in a while, maybe even when the bosses die, just to keep it a little, passives from the bosses just to make things kind of interesting, but then also I would say maybe every 5 levels with a gun you also get a choice, you know, A, B, or A, B, C, You know, do you want your plasma shots to have strike through, or do you want them to explode? Or do you want them to have homing, or do you want them to do more damage, fire slower, be oblong instead? You know, give me some weird stuff. Have them wiggle, who knows? Just to give me kind of a feeling of like, I'm going to take, like do this time around. Because instead it really does seem kind of like, pick your favorite weapon, pump points into it, and don't do anything else. And I think that's okay, but it could be a lot more interesting. One way or another, this is still very much in beta. Roadmap is coming soon, and who knows what it's going to look like in a year or two. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think this will be a lot better once it's had some time to develop, and also once we have, you know, some good feedback testing going on. But for now, at least, if you guys like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new indie games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons of them to check out. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.